The moment Aidan stepped onto the wide green field behind his old hometown, he felt the past rush back at him like a warm, unexpected wave. The sun was still rising, casting soft gold across the wooden fences and the familiar cabin where he once spent every summer with the only person who ever understood him. He had come back to bury the memories, not reopen them. But fate had other plans, because standing by the white fence, her brown hair dancing with the morning breeze, was Mirror, the girl he once promised the world to when they were just children chasing fireflies. And before he could think, she looked right at him with those bright, knowing eyes and whispered the word that struck him harder than anything he'd ever heard. "You promised to marry me when we were kids." Aidan felt something inside him shake as he breathed out. Does that promise still count? Before the moment could break. Dear viewers, if you believe in kind childhood bonds and second chances that life unexpectedly brings back, then please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Heartbeat Tales to keep these stories alive. The years between them were long and heavy. Life had turned rough for Aidan. He'd left this town at 19 with a heart full of dreams and came back with a quiet heaviness, the kind that forms only when hopes crumble and life disappoints in ways no one sees. Mirror, on the other hand, had always been warmth in human form, someone who kept smiling even when storms cracked the sky. They grew up next door, climbed the same apple tree, dead each other into the forest, and swore silly childhood promises under the stars. But life separated them. His family moved away for work. Her letters stopped as they both grew older and the world around them simply kept pulling them in different directions until their memories blurred into something that felt more like a dream than reality. Aidan didn't come back to reignite anything. He came because his mother wanted him to take care of the old family land after his father's passing. He came because he felt lost and didn't know where else to go. But seeing Mira standing there made it feel as if the universe had paused time just long enough to remind him, some roots never die no matter how far the branches grow. As he stepped closer, memories resurfaced in fragments. Her laughter echoing across the field, her small hand grabbing his wrist. Storm scared her, the two of them sitting on a wooden swing as kids making promises they didn't even know how to understand. She hadn't changed in the ways that mattered. Her smile was still patient, a voice warm, her presence calming in a way that grounded him instantly. She stared at him like she could still see the same boy who once carved her name into the old oak tree behind the barn. And yet there was something different in her eyes. A quiet sadness, a loneliness that hadn't been there before. Life hadn't been easy for her either. She had lost her father 2 years earlier, and her mother's health was failing. She'd taken over their small farm, working day and night to keep it going, sacrificing friendships, opportunities, even love. As they walked along the fence line, Mira told him stories of the years he missed, the dreams she had put aside, and the way she sometimes stood outside at night, staring at the stars, wondering where he had gone and why they had drifted so far apart. Her voice trembled when she confessed that she had kept every childish note he ever wrote her tucked away in a tin box beneath her bed, even the one where he had scribbled in crooked handwriting, "One day I'll marry you, Mirror, pinky promise." She laughed remembering it, but her eyes shimmered with something deeper, something fragile and unspoken. Aidan realized then that the distance between them wasn't measured in miles. It was measured in years of unshared pain, missed moments, and dreams they never told each other. And as they sat on the porch steps of her cabin, watching the sun climb higher, he finally felt the weight of his own emptiness. He admitted how he failed in the city, how he lost himself, how he came back. Not because of hope, but because he had nowhere else to go. Mira didn't judge, she just listened, her hand resting softly on his as if she understood every silent word he hadn't said. Something shifted in that warmth. Something healed. The kind of healing that comes not from grand gestures but from being seen, truly seen by someone who remembers the child you once were and still believes in the person you could become. Aidan felt the promise he made as a boy wasn't silly at all. It was real. It was a bond their hearts remembered even when their lives forgot. When he finally looked at her and asked in a trembling voice if the promise counted now not as children but as two lost adults trying to find meaning again, Mira smiled through tears, not because she expected it, but because deep inside she had always hoped he would someday return and say those words. Dear viewers, if this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Heartbeat Tales so more souls can feel the warmth of stories like this. Before you go, please leave a special comment. Some promises never fade. Schatz said, "You promised to marry me when we kia."